Hello guys, welcome back to Selinka Updates. In a stunning turn of events, former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has been arrested and sent to The Hague, Netherlands, to face charges of crimes against humanity. The arrest has sent shockwaves across the country, dividing public opinion and raising serious questions about justice, accountability, and Philippine sovereignty. Today, we take a deep dive into the dramatic arrest, how it unfolded, and what it means for the Philippines and the world. The arrest. On March 11, 2025, Rodrigo Duterte, the controversial leader who spearheaded the Philippine war on drugs, was arrested upon arriving at Ninoy Aquino International Airport in Manila. The arrest was carried out by the Philippine National Police, PNP, and Interpol, following an International Crime Court (ICC) warrant. Authorities wasted no time. Within hours, Duterte was transferred to Villamor Air Base, where he was placed on a flight bound for The Hague, Netherlands, the headquarters of the ICC. Now, this is historic. If the trial proceeds, Duterte will be the first Asian former head of state to stand trial at the ICC for crimes against humanities. The charges: a deadly legacy. So, what exactly is Duterte being accused of? The ICC has charged him with murder as a crime against humanity, linking him to thousands of extrajudicial killings carried out during his controversial war on drugs. During his presidency from 2016 to 2022, Duterte launched an aggressive anti-drug campaign, vowing to eliminate drug pushers and criminals. Official figures from the police claim that over 6,000 people were killed in legitimate anti-drug operations. But human rights groups tell a different story. They claim the real death toll could be as high as 30,000, with many victims being poor Filipinos, some of whom had merely surrendered for rehabilitation. Many were gunned down in their homes or in the streets, often by masked men on motorcycles, a pattern that led investigators to believe in the existence of state-backed death squads. The ICC believes Duterte's involvement in these killings goes beyond his presidency. The charges against him date back to his time as mayor in Davao City, where a death squad allegedly operated under his command, executing suspected criminals without trial. Duterte's reaction. Duterte has never backed down from a fight. Even in custody, he remains defiant. In a live-streamed message, he questioned why he was being taken to an international court when the Philippines is no longer a member of the ICC. He insisted that if there were any charges against him, they should be handled by Philippine courts, not an international body. And here is where it gets interesting. The Philippines withdrew from the ICC in 2019 after Duterte rejected its investigation into his drug war. But the ICC argues that it still has jurisdiction over crimes committed while the Philippines was a member, which includes Duterte's presidency. The Philippine government's response. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who once vowed not to cooperate with the ICC, has now taken a different stance. At a press conference, Marcos said the arrest was carried out at the request of Interpol and that his administration had no direct involvement with the ICC's case. His words were clear. Interpol asked for help and we obliged. We have commitments to Interpol, and if we don't comply, they won't assist us in tracking down Filipino fugitives abroad. This statement suggests that Marcos was simply following international obligations rather than actively supporting the ICC's case against Duterte. However, critics point out that Marcos and Duterte have had a falling out in recent months, particularly due to tensions with Duterte's daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte, who was impeached last month. Some believe politics played a role in the decision to comply with the arrest. Reactions, outrage and celebration. Duterte's arrest has divided the nation. His supporters, including his family, have expressed outrage, calling the arrest an insult to Philippine sovereignty. His youngest daughter, Veronica Duterte, took to Instagram calling it a kidnapping. She accused the government of betrayal and questioned why her father was handed over to foreign authorities. Senator Christopher Bongo, one of Duterte's closest allies, also spoke out saying, "Long gone are the days when foreigners dictated how we ran our internal affairs." On the other hand, human rights activists and families of drug war victims welcomed the arrest, calling it a step towards justice. Former Justice Minister Leila de Lima, who was jailed under Duterte's administration after leading a Senate probe into the drug war killings, expressed solidarity with the victims' family. In a powerful statement, she said, "Your voices mattered, your courage mattered, justice is finally within reach." A fall from power. This marks a dramatic fall from grace for Duterte and his political dynasty. Just a few years ago, he was one of the most powerful figures in the Philippines. He enjoyed overwhelming popularity, built a strong alliance with the Marcos family, and dominated Philippine politics. But cracks began to show in late 2024 when his daughter Sara Duterte's relationship with Marcos turned sour. Accusations flew, including claims that Sara had plotted to assassinate the president. This led to her impeachment last month, further weakening the Duterte family's hold on power. Despite this, Rodrigo Duterte had political plans beyond his presidency. He was set to run for mayor of Davao City in the upcoming midterm elections with his son Sebastian Duterte, who is the current mayor, running as his vice mayor. But with his arrest, those plans are now uncertain. So what's next for Duterte? He will be held in custody at The Hague while the ICC prepares for trial. His legal team is expected to challenge the ICC's jurisdiction, arguing that the Philippines is no longer under the court's authority. His supporters may stage protests, adding to the political tension in the country. The trial, if it happens, will be historic. If convicted, Duterte could face life in prison. If acquitted, he could return to the Philippines, potentially reclaiming his political influence. Duterte's arrest is more than just the fall of a former president. It's a test of justice. According to reports, in response to her father's arrest, Vice President Sara Duterte departed Manila on the morning of March 12, 2025, en route to Amsterdam, Netherlands, to assist in organizing his legal defense. She condemned the extradition, describing it as oppression and persecution, and asserting that it undermines Philippines' sovereignty. Additionally, Duterte's youngest daughter, Veronica Duterte, intends to file a petition with the Philippine Supreme Court to compel the government to return her father to the Philippines. Duterte's legal team has also demanded his return, accusing the government of effectively kidnapping the former president. For his critics, this is long overdue accountability for the thousands of lives lost under his drug war. For his supporters, it's an attack on Philippine sovereignty, a move orchestrated by foreign powers. One thing is certain, the coming weeks and months will shape not only Duterte's fate, but also the future of Philippine politics. What do you think? Is this justice served, or is it a violation of the country's sovereignty? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this developing story.